much did you all keep in touch over the years?
Well, Wentworth and I were always in touch via email. You know, we kept bumping into each other here and there with the guys. Again, we're all friends, and you know, we're just friends.
So, what do you think that now was the right moment to come back with Prison Break?
Why did we think that? Well, Wentworth and I were working on the Flash together, and we just started talking about Prison Break, the good old days kind of thing, and then we started thinking, why don't we try to bring it back? I mean, it's been a long time, and we can come up. So Wentworth and I approached the studio, we met with them, and they loved the idea and jumped on board, and we had to get Paul Schering involved, and he got involved, and once he got involved, that was it. I mean, the show couldn't have happened without Paul, so he was the final piece of the puzzle.
How does your workout routine now? It seems every time you have to be in shape. How do you maintain your always be optimal shape and not get like bored of it?
Yeah, bored. Yeah. Well, I mean, unfortunately, I've branded myself to a certain degree, but also it helps me. You know, it's in a way it's a release. I'm a surfer, and I work nowhere near a beach, so it's just one of my ways of just keeping together. You know, it's also again it's part of my job, to be honest with you. I'm not obsessive about it by any means. I mean, I just do what I do.
And if you get cast as a fat guy, like you go, hey, do it.
I got cast as a fat guy on Killer Elite with De Niro and Clive Owen and Jason Statham, and they said you're playing a guy who just drinks and eats and he gets fat. I said, fucking awesome. So I spent literally 6-7 weeks eating everything from burgers to milkshakes to donuts. I mean, you name it. And it took about 6 weeks for it to start. I started noticing I was getting fat. It's like, oh, this is really weird. But the interesting thing about that, people go on about how eating like that depresses you. Bullshit. I was in heaven, man. I love waking up in the morning, not thinking about what I had to eat. I'll just have that, I'll have that, I'll have this. It's great.
So you and Wentworth obviously work together on The Flash and Legends, but how is it getting back to Michael and Lincoln and playing that dynamic?
It was emotional. It was a bit kind of freaky at first, but again, because we know each other so well, it was just boom, straight into it. The rhythm was right there. It wasn't awkward, you know.
What do you hope for the event series to do for the legacy of the show?
Well, I think Prison Break was one of the shows that set a bar when it first came out, and hopefully the reboot will set another bar. And I think it will. I think people are going to be very blown away by the fact that we've made this show, and it looks like it's just on par. I've seen the first 2 episodes. It's on par with anything Jason Bourne would do, or Zero Dark 30. Those kind of the Middle Eastern kind of thing, that vibe. There's no difference. So it's just incredible storytelling.
I feel like you guys are allowed to do a little bit more now. I mean, it was just a slightly different era on television when you guys first came on. You could push boundaries a little bit more on television now. I feel like you guys are able to, whether it's set the bar higher.
Well, you know, we're dealing with ISIS. So with ISIS and ISIL comes devastation, tragedy, death. There's a scene in Prison Break where people are hanging from light bulb, just out in the street, hanging from wherever. I mean, it's heavy. It's heavy. I mean, as an actor, I don't really get emotional when I'm acting because I know it's acting, it's make-believe. But there was one scene that really had me very upset, and that's never happened to me before. I was in a car and we were going through this street in Morocco, and a terrorist explosion happened. So we had all these extras, and people who lived there in Wazasat, who were of the Middle East, who were obviously very aware and familiar with. And these people, these were extras, and they were all screaming and crying like real shit coming out. And they had the bodies everywhere, and the white and the red blankets over them, and I was moved, man. It didn't feel like a performance. It felt like these people, these normal people, were channeling what the whole Middle East is about. Well, not the whole Middle East, but you know what I'm saying? It just felt really real, intense.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.